back to Von Kettle Kitchen. So today is Meal Prep Sunday and I have already made cilantro lime rice for the week for lunches, and now we're going to be working on pork carnitas. This is just a blend of a few different recipes that I have found and just kind of mashed them together to make them what I would like. So don't forget to hit that little red button down below for the subscribe button, and also hit that little bell and to make sure that parentheses, so it's like a hug, so you can get notified each time that I post a recipe and or a Dollar Tree haul. Also, make sure you give us a thumbs up so we can keep current and so I know that you are enjoying my content. So let's get going. All right, so I've already kind of prepped, but this is 3 pounds of pork loin. I've just cut up into 2-inch cubes. I'm just going to throw them right into the pot. I have 6 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to grate it in. You can do a fine mince. I always like to grate it because I feel that it extracts more flavor, and then you don't have to worry about biting into huge chunks. Now this is going to cook down for quite some time, so even if you do have bigger chunks, this is going to, man overboard, is going to cook down nicely because this is going to take quite some time to cook. So I'm going to finish grating these. I also have a lime left over from when I made the cilantro lime rice. I am going to finish zesting him into here as well, just for some added flavor. I also really enjoy, and I wish I picked up earlier, I like to zest a whole orange into my carnitas. I think it gives a great flavor. If you have lemon, you can definitely do that. I just really enjoy the orange zest in it. I don't do orange juice, I just do the orange zest itself. Throw that little feller in. He was tiny enough. Now, to get the smell of garlic and or onions off of your skin, you always want to just rinse your hands, wash them, and then rub them on the stainless steel part of your faucet. Just want to get all that garlic out. So let me just rinse my hands. This garlic has a natural sugar in it, so they are very sweet. And I'm going to rub my hands on the stainless steel. Perfect. Grab my other lime because I do need 2 tablespoons of lime juice for this. I just rinsed out that. So I already started zesting this lime when I was doing the rice. I'm just going to take the rest of it. So you're going to get, for 1 full lime, about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons is what you want. Make sure you don't go into the white because that is the pith and that is bitter, and you do not want that. I'm going to do this. Grab my love these. So I'm going to do this half. And the other tablespoon of lime juice, I am going to actually wait until everything is cooked so you get a fresh kind of flavor, I guess you could say, or just a freshness to bring to it. Put that aside. My hands a wipe. So let me grab my salt. So we are going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. If you don't like to use that much, by all means, don't do so. It is okay. If you can't have salt, I would also recommend using no salt. So we're gonna do a teaspoon and a half of cumin. Oops. I am making a mess today. Got some chili powder on my counter now, so we're gonna do a teaspoon and a half chili powder. Clean up that little guy later. Look, if you're not making a mess in the kitchen, then you truly are not cooking. It is fun. Enjoy what you do. Always remember, a recipe is just a guideline. Put the flavors that you enjoy into it. So I am just tossing all of the pork around so it's nice and coated in all these spices. In the sink. Don't need that. I eyeballed it. So I have 1 cup of stock. This is just my own, but you can use chicken or beef for this. We're gonna lid up. Make sure that it is in the sealed position. Close the cabinet so I don't knock myself out. Wipe my hands and let me bring it in front. All right, so because I'm using my smaller Crock-Pot Express, I don't have a manual button on here. If you want to, there's two different things that you can do for this. You can either do the meat and stew, or you can do beans and chili. For manual, typically for Crock-Pot Express, people use the beans and chili. That way you can go underneath 15 minutes. I am just gonna do meat, and we're on high pressure. We're going to be cooking for 40 minutes. If you have the Instant Pot, make sure you hit the manual pressure, high pressure for 40 minutes. Once the 40 minutes goes off, we are going to do a natural pressure release for 20. But we want to make sure that the keep warm cycle is off. So I'm actually going to unplug the machine itself because I don't want it to keep cooking. I'm just going to set a kitchen timer. Okay, so this has gone off for 20 minutes for the natural pressure release. There's barely any built up pressure. Pair of tongs. So I have a cast iron pan heating up over here. The valve just dropped. Always make sure to try to open away from you, just in case. So you have all this excess liquid. I'm going to actually pull all of this pork out and put it on a plate. And then I'm going to turn the saute function on so we can make a broth. Oop, that is tender. It's falling apart. So we're going to actually just brown these just so it gives it some extra flavor. I am going to shred some of these because we'll be making tacos this week. I'm going to use this also for our burrito bowls since I made the cilantro lime rice. You want to work in batches when you heat this up. You can use lard, which is traditional, or if you don't have lard, you can definitely use vegetable oil, which is what I'm going to be using because I didn't want to have to just buy lard for this. We've also been eating better as well, so we have that. So I'll set that aside. I'm going to turn on the brown and saute on high, and I'm just going to let that continue to cook. That is getting nice and hot. So I'm going to let that continue to warm up. The steam that you're seeing is from the pork. I am going to, it literally just falls right apart. Actually, I want to taste a little bit. Good flavor. So using the tongs, you can definitely just pull this, just squeeze it, and it makes beautiful pulled pork. You can, if you want like a pulled pork, like a Mexican version, you can definitely put some salsa into this. Anything your heart desires. But you just want to work this into batches because you, like I said, you don't want to crowd the cast iron because you don't want it to steam. You want it to crisp. So, a couple more seconds on the pan and then we'll start going. Alright, so the pan is getting nice and hot. I'm going to turn my fan on. I'm going to turn it down to medium-high now. I always use cast iron, especially for browning meats or anything like that, because it gives a good surface area. So you're just going to work in just a couple batches. And it falls just right apart. So turn that down to medium, and I'm going to grab another plate so the brown stuff we can put into another pan. Onto another plate. I'm just going to move my lid. I'm just going to use my tongs. So So it's getting these nice crispy little pieces. Let me show you. So it gives it a nice golden color and nice and crispy. It just gives another layer of flavor. So I'm going to continue to do this. I probably have about 1.5 more batches to do. The drippings and all of that stock is starting to boil. And we're going to reduce this to about half. What I'm also going to do is, because this is a smaller surface area, I'm actually going to shut this off. And because I have all those brown bits in the cast iron pan, so use your pot holders and take it over. And because the cast iron is so hot, let me bring you over. Cast iron is so hot, as I was saying, it's going to reduce faster, and it's going to have all those nice brown bits from the pork that we just crisped up. So while that's still reducing, I'm going to take that other lime that I was talking about, and I'm just going to zest this right over the pork, just so when it goes in, it'll get nice and fragrant. I'm also going to do the whole lime for juicing. So you have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. The zest holds a lot of delicious flavor. I'm going to give this guy a little cut in half. If you don't have a juicer for lemons or limes or whatever, you can definitely use your tongs. So I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to put half of the lime in here, just stick it between here, and just give it a squeeze. So if you don't have a juicer, you can still get the juice out of the lime by squeezing it with your tongs. But because I have one, I'm going to use it. I find that these are easier and you get more juice out of them. If you don't feel like you're going to get enough juice out of a lime or any type of citrus, roll it on the counter by pushing down on it, or you can put it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, and then you should be able to use it. So I'm going to scrape up all those goodies, because this is reduced down very nicely. So you're going to get all those yummy bits that are in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to shut the burner off. We're going to add the pork back in. With all of that lime juice. Just give it a nice toss in the juice. It's going to all soak up. I'm making a mess again. So I'm actually going to pull it off the heat. Let me grab that. Alright. So almost all of this juice is all nice and soaked up into this pork. And now you are ready to serve. You can make tacos, you can do rice bowls, grain bowls, anything that your heart desires. You can definitely freeze this and reheat this in a cast iron pan. Let me know how you guys like your pork carnitas.